You've probably heard the phrase due process before. We're looking right now at the full text of the Fifth Amendment right here on the left and partial text of the 14th Amendment. So there's several things going on in the Fifth Amendment, but we're going to pay attention to this text down here, second line from the bottom. Nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. And then in this partial text of the 14th Amendment, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So now we know where we find the due process clause. It's in the Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment. But what exactly is it? As a generic definition, due process is the right of an individual under the jurisdiction of the United States to fair treatment by the justice system. Fundamental fairness sometimes is simplified to the notions of fair notice and fair hearing, but we don't want to get too simple. There are two types of due process. There is procedural due process, and there is substantive due process. Fair notice and fair hearing refer to procedural due process, which concerns the process used to try and convict defendants accused of crimes. Is the process fair? On the other hand, substantive due process refers to a principle allowing courts to prohibit the intrusion of the government into the lives of private individuals. So let's look at a couple of examples. The right to jury trial is an example found in the Sixth Amendment of a right that we would identify as procedural due process. However, the right to privacy, sometimes you've heard that phrase, not enumerated specifically in the Constitution, but interpreted by courts. The right to privacy would be an example of substantive due process. It has nothing to do with the process being fair. It has to do with fundamental fairness in the government's intrusion into your life.